She is the goddess of witchcraft, ghosts, and the night, mysterious, powerful, and feared. Hecate, the triple-faced queen of the underworld, holds the keys to hidden knowledge and the unknown. But why, despite her eerie presence, is she so deeply loved and revered? From ancient myths to modern-day magic, Hecate remains a guiding force for those who seek wisdom in darkness. Join us as we uncover the terrifying and fascinating truth behind the goddess of crossroads, torches, and transformation. Underworld connections. Hecate is one of the most enigmatic and powerful figures in ancient mythology, closely associated with the underworld and the unseen forces that shape the world of the living and the dead. Often depicted as a goddess of witchcraft, magic, and liminality, her connection to the underworld extends beyond mere association. She is an active participant in the realms of spirits, ghosts, and supernatural occurrences. Roaming at night with spectral hounds and restless spirits, Hecate embodies the threshold between the worlds, standing as a guardian of the mysteries that govern the afterlife. Origins and mythological background. Hecate's origins are somewhat obscure, as she does not belong exclusively to either Greek or pre-Greek traditions but rather appears to be a synthesis of multiple influences. Some scholars trace her back to Thracian or Anatolian roots, while others suggest she was a chthonic deity from an older pre-Olympian tradition. Unlike many other deities, she retained significant autonomy despite the rise of the Olympian pantheon, granted dominion over the heavens, earth, and sea by Zeus himself. Her underworld ties are perhaps most famously linked to the myth of Persephone's abduction. When Hades seized Persephone and took her to the underworld, it was Hecate who, carrying twin torches, aided Demeter in searching for her daughter. Later, when Persephone was made queen of the underworld, Hecate became her companion and guide, further solidifying her connection with the realm of the dead. This role as a guide and intermediary between life and death underscores her status as a liminal deity, bridging the gap between different planes of existence. Hecate and the spirits of the dead. Hecate's dominion over spirits is evident in ancient texts and rituals, where she is portrayed as leading ghosts and restless souls through the night. She is often associated with the Idola, spirits of the dead who linger in the world, either due to unfinished business or improper burials. Ancient Greeks believed that Hecate had the power to command these wandering souls, directing them in acts of vengeance, prophecy, or protection. In many traditions, she was honored at crossroads, places symbolically linked to the meeting of different worlds. These crossroads were thought to be favored by spirits, and Hecate's suppers were held there, where offerings of food, often consisting of fish, eggs, garlic, and cakes, were left for the goddess and the ghosts she led. It was believed that those who encountered Hecate and her spectral entourage at night might be cursed or blessed, depending on her disposition. Hecate was also seen as a psychopomp, a guide for the souls of the dead. Unlike Hermes, who merely transported souls, Hecate had a deeper influence over them, determining their fate and sometimes intervening on their behalf. In certain mystery traditions, initiates sought her aid in communicating with the deceased, ensuring safe passage for their loved ones, or acquiring secret knowledge hidden beyond the veil of death. Nocturnal presence and terrifying apparitions. Hecate's connection to the night made her a figure of both reverence and fear. She was believed to walk the earth after dark, accompanied by hellhounds and phantoms. These spectral hounds, often identified with Cerberus or other infernal creatures, howled at her approach, signaling her presence to those who dared to look into the shadows. Some traditions held that dogs could see spirits and would bark or whimper when Hecate and her ghostly entourage were near. In Roman and late Greek literature, Hecate appears as a patroness of witches, granting them knowledge of necromancy and curses. The famous witch Medea, for example, is said to have been a priestess of Hecate, using the goddess's magic to summon the dead, brew powerful potions, and bend reality to her will. The witches in Shakespeare's Macbeth also reflect Hecate's dark influence, invoking her name in their spells and rituals. Her appearance is often described as dreadful and awe-inspiring. Some sources depict her as a triple-formed goddess, with 3 faces or 3 bodies, symbolizing her ability to see in all directions and exist in multiple realms at once. Others describe her with snakes, torches, or daggers, reinforcing her role as both protector and destroyer, one who could guide or annihilate with equal ease. Hecate's role in necromancy and dark magic. Hecate's influence over necromancy is well documented in ancient texts. The Necromantian, a temple devoted to communicating with the dead, was believed to be under her patronage. Those who sought to summon spirits or gain insight from the underworld often invoked Hecate's name, performing rituals at night with specific offerings, incantations, and gestures designed to appease her. In Orphic and Pythagorean traditions, Hecate was sometimes seen as a cosmic force governing the balance between life and death. Her role was not merely to unleash spirits but to maintain order, ensuring that the dead remained in their proper place and that only those with the knowledge and permission could cross the boundary she guarded. Legacy and cultural influence. Hecate's underworld connections have persisted far beyond the ancient world. In medieval and Renaissance occult traditions, she remained a powerful symbol of magic, transformation, and the unknown. Modern Wiccan and pagan traditions often revere her as a crone goddess, a wise and fearsome figure associated with the cycle of death and rebirth. Even in contemporary literature, film, and folklore, Hecate appears as a mystical and eerie presence. She is often depicted as the quintessential witch goddess, embodying the paradox of creation and destruction, wisdom and terror. Her spectral hounds, ghostly retinues, and dominion over liminal spaces ensure that her influence endures, making her one of the most fascinating and enduring figures of the ancient world. Hecate's role as a goddess of the underworld, spirits, and night-wandering beings cements her status as one of the most compelling deities of mythology. Her presence at crossroads, her command over the dead, and her ability to bridge the seen and unseen make her an entity of both dread and devotion. Whether as a guide, a protector, or a harbinger of doom, Hecate's underworld connections continue to intrigue and inspire, proving that even in the modern age, the mysteries she governs remain as captivating as ever. Witchcraft and magic. Witchcraft and magic have been integral aspects of human culture, religion, and folklore for centuries. These practices bridge the material and spiritual worlds, offering insight, power, and transformation. Among the many deities associated with witchcraft, one of the most significant figures is the goddess of magic, spells, and sorcery, Hecate. She is often depicted carrying torches that illuminate the darkness, representing both the power and fear of the unknown. This article explores the history, attributes, and influence of witchcraft and its divine embodiment in Hecate. The origins of witchcraft and magic. Witchcraft has roots in ancient civilizations, where it was intertwined with religious rituals, divination, and the natural elements. In Mesopotamian culture, magic was practiced by priests and priestesses who sought favor from the gods or protection from malevolent spirits. The Egyptians had their own form of magic, known as Heka, which was used to influence both the mortal and divine realms. Similarly, in Greek and Roman societies, magic was both revered and feared, often practiced by wise women, healers, and oracles. Magic was traditionally classified into different categories. Natural magic involves using herbs, stones, and celestial alignments to achieve desired effects. Ceremonial magic requires elaborate rituals, invocations, and the summoning of supernatural forces. Divination, the practice of foreseeing the future through omens, tarot, astrology, or scrying. Black and white magic, often distinguished by intent, white magic is for healing and protection, while black magic is associated with harm and manipulation. Hecate, the goddess of magic and sorcery. Hecate is a powerful and enigmatic goddess in Greek mythology, revered as the deity of magic, witchcraft, ghosts, and the moon. She is unique in her ability to traverse different realms, earth, sea, and sky, and is associated with the liminal spaces between life and death, darkness and light, and seen and unseen worlds. Attributes and symbols. Hecate is often depicted as a triple-formed goddess, symbolizing her dominion over the past, present, and future. She carries torches to light the way through darkness, guiding lost souls and seekers of wisdom. Other symbols associated with her include dogs, often seen as her sacred animal, symbolizing loyalty and protection. Keys, representing her role as the gatekeeper to hidden knowledge and the mysteries of the universe. Serpents, signifying transformation, rebirth, and the connection between the mortal and divine. Worship and rituals. Hecate was honored in ancient times at crossroads, where offerings of food, known as Hecate's suppers, were left for her. These rituals were believed to grant protection and guidance, as well as enhance one's magical abilities. Her followers, including witches and mystics, invoked her during spell work, particularly in matters of divination, protection, and transformation. The power and fear of the unknown. Magic has always existed in a space of duality, both revered and feared. In many societies, witches were persecuted because their knowledge and power challenged traditional structures. The fear of the unknown led to the infamous witch trials of the medieval and early modern periods, where countless individuals, mostly women, were accused of practicing dark sorcery. However, in modern times, witchcraft has undergone a resurgence, with many embracing Wicca, paganism, and other forms of spiritual practice that honor ancient wisdom and magical traditions. Hecate remains a central figure for modern witches, symbolizing empowerment, transformation, and the ability to navigate life's mysteries. Hecate, as the goddess of magic, spells, and sorcery, embodies the profound connection between power and mystery. She serves as a guardian of the unseen realms, illuminating the path for those who seek knowledge and transformation. Witchcraft and magic continue to evolve, yet their essence remains rooted in the ancient traditions that Hecate has long presided over. Whether feared or revered, the practice of magic and its divine patroness remind us of the ever-present interplay between light and darkness, known and unknown, and the power within those who dare to embrace the mystical. Triple form and liminality. Throughout mythology, folklore, and spiritual traditions, the concept of a being that exists in three aspects, often depicted with three faces, carries deep symbolic significance. Whether embodying the past, present, and future or governing the three realms of earth, sea, and sky, these entities represent a powerful and liminal presence that transcends ordinary perception. This triple form creates an eerie, all-seeing entity capable of navigating the boundaries between the known and the unknown, the mortal and the divine. In this exploration, we will examine how the triple form manifests in mythological traditions, the role of liminality in these representations, and how such figures function within both their cultural and metaphysical contexts. The triple goddess archetype in mythology. One of the most well-known representations of the triple form is the triple goddess in various mythological traditions, particularly in Indo-European and pagan belief systems. This archetype frequently appears in three interconnected stages. The maiden, representing youth, new beginnings, and potential. The mother, symbolizing fertility, nurturing, and creation. The crone, associated with wisdom, endings, and transformation. This triplicity is prominently seen in Greek mythology with the goddess Hecate, a liminal deity connected to magic, crossroads, and the supernatural. Often depicted with three faces, she embodies past, present, and future knowledge, symbolizing omniscience and transcendence of time. Similarly, in Celtic mythology, the Morrigan appears in triple form as a war goddess, often taking the shape of three sisters, Badb, Macha, and Nemain, who guide warriors through battle and foretell death. In these examples, the threefold form grants these figures an uncanny, otherworldly presence. They are not limited to a single role but shift between states, reinforcing their omnipotence and connection to fate. Their ability to exist across multiple stages of life and realms of existence highlights their unique and often unsettling power. Liminality and the space between worlds. Liminality refers to a state of being in between, a threshold where transformation occurs. Figures who exist in a triple form are inherently liminal, as they embody multiple states of being simultaneously. This makes them mediators between worlds, life and death, past and future, physical and metaphysical. Liminality is especially apparent in deities like Hecate, who stands at crossroads, literal and symbolic. Crossroads represent decision points, transitions, and uncertainty. Hecate's three faces allow her to look in multiple directions at once, granting her omniscience over choices yet to be made. In this way, she becomes an eerie guardian of destiny, guiding or haunting those who seek knowledge at these junctures. Similarly, Brigid, the Celtic goddess of poetry, healing, and smithcraft, exhibits a liminal nature by encompassing three domains, each one transformative in its own way. Poetry represents intellectual and emotional metamorphosis, healing embodies physical transition from sickness to health, and smithcraft signifies the alchemical process of creation and change. Brigid, like other triple-formed figures, operates between realms, making her a conduit for transformation. The eerie power of such figures comes from their resistance to being confined to a single role. They slip between categories, making them difficult to define and even more challenging to predict or control. This uncertainty contributes to the sense of awe and reverence they inspire. The three realms, earth, sea, and sky. Beyond their representation of time or life stages, triple-formed deities often govern the three primary realms of existence, earth, sea, and sky, which symbolize different aspects of human experience and cosmic order. Earth represents the tangible, physical world, stability, and material existence. Sea symbolizes depth, emotion, intuition, and the unknown. Sky governs knowledge, intellect, foresight, and divine connection. Many deities associated with these three realms take on triple forms. For example, in Norse mythology, the Norns, Ord, the past, Verdandi, the present, and Skuld, the future, are responsible for weaving the fates of gods and men. They operate at the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree, a place that connects all realms. Their triadic nature reflects their ability to navigate different planes of existence and control destiny across time. Similarly, in Hindu tradition, the Tridevi, three goddesses, Sarasvati, wisdom, Lakshmi, prosperity, and Parvati, power, govern different forces that maintain cosmic balance. Each represents a different aspect of existence but together form a complete divine presence that interacts with the physical, emotional, and spiritual realms. These threefold figures serve as reminders that reality is multifaceted and interconnected. Their dominion over multiple realms reinforces their all-encompassing awareness, making them symbols of ultimate power and mystery. The eerie omniscience of triple forms. One of the defining characteristics of triple-formed deities is their omniscience, the ability to see beyond human limitations. This is often illustrated through their depiction with three faces or multiple perspectives, reinforcing their perception beyond linear time or singular existence. This all-seeing nature can be both comforting and unsettling. The triple goddess, for instance, provides guidance through her knowledge of life cycles, but she also embodies the inevitability of change and mortality. The Norns and the Morrigan, with their deep knowledge of fate, remind us of the inescapable nature of destiny, a theme that can be both empowering and terrifying. Furthermore, the triple form's omnipresence often ties into death and rebirth. Many such figures serve as psychopomps, guiding souls between life and the afterlife. Hecate, the Morrigan, and the Norns all play roles in the transition between life and death, reinforcing their liminality. This connection to the unknown enhances their eerie mystique, as they hold knowledge of what lies beyond the mortal veil. Cultural legacy and modern symbolism. The enduring presence of triple-formed deities in literature, art, and modern spirituality demonstrates their lasting impact. Many contemporary pagan and Wiccan traditions honor the triple goddess as a central divine figure, seeing her as a representation of nature's cycles and feminine wisdom. Beyond spirituality, the concept of the threefold being permeates popular culture. Characters in fantasy literature, horror stories, and films often echo the traits of these ancient figures. The three witches in Shakespeare's Macbeth bear strong similarities to the Norns, speaking cryptic prophecies about fate. The eerie triplet theme appears in works such as Coraline, with the three ghost children, and the Sandman series by Neil Gaiman, where the three-in-one reappear in various mythic forms. This continued fascination stems from the profound nature of these figures. Their liminality and omniscience reflect deep human concerns about time, fate, and transformation. Whether revered, feared, or both, triple-formed beings embody the mysteries that lie beyond human understanding, making them enduring symbols of power, wisdom, and eerie transcendence. Guardian of Crossroads. Throughout history, crossroads have symbolized moments of choice, uncertainty, and danger. These liminal spaces represent the boundaries between what is known and the mysteries that lie ahead. In the ancient world, crossroads were feared and revered, places where spirits roamed and supernatural forces held sway. Over these enigmatic junctures ruled Hecate, a powerful and mysterious goddess of Greek mythology. Often depicted holding torches, keys, or serpents, Hecate was not only a guardian of these intersections but also a deity governing fate, magic, and the unknown. Hecate's origins and mythological role. Hecate's origins trace back to ancient Anatolia and Thrace before she was fully incorporated into Greek mythology. The Hesiodic theogony presents her as a daughter of the Titan Perses and Asteria, making her a being of primordial power. Unlike other titans who were overthrown by the Olympians, Hecate retained her dominion, signifying her unique and enduring influence. She was granted authority over land, sea, and sky, emphasizing her wide-ranging power. Her connection to crossroads particularly stands out as one of her defining attributes. Crossroads, liminal spaces of power. Crossroads held great significance in the ancient world. They were physical places where paths met, but they also symbolized metaphorical decisions in life. The Greeks viewed crossroads as locations fraught with supernatural energy, often leaving offerings, known as Hecate's suppers, at these places to appease spirits or seek Hecate's guidance. These offerings typically included food, particularly fish, garlic, and honey, left at three-way intersections. The number 3 was sacred to Hecate, reflecting her triple nature and her role as a guardian of past, present, and future. Ancient travelers, especially those journeying at night, feared these crossings, believing them to be haunted by ghosts, restless spirits, and unseen forces. Hecate's presence at these locations provided both protection and danger. She guided those she favored and misled or punished those who failed to show proper respect. The torchbearer, guiding souls through darkness. One of Hecate's most enduring symbols is the torch. As a goddess of the night and the unseen, she was often depicted bearing twin torches, illuminating paths for those who sought her aid. This imagery is closely tied to her role as a psychopomp, a guide of souls between realms. In myth, she assisted Demeter in searching for Persephone, lighting the way through the darkness of the underworld. This further cements her association with transitions, both in life and death. Her torches also symbolize inner enlightenment, guiding individuals through personal crossroads, moments of decision and transformation. Worshippers would invoke her aid when standing at metaphorical crossroads in life, seeking clarity and wisdom. Hecate's presence signified the need for introspection and the courage to face the unknown. Keeper of keys, unlocking mysteries and choices. Hecate is frequently portrayed holding a key, a powerful emblem of access to hidden knowledge and the ability to unlock destiny's doors. This symbolizes her authority over barriers, both physical and metaphysical. The key represents her ability to open or close pathways, granting or denying passage based on her judgment. It reinforces her role as a guardian of transitions and choices, embodying the forces that shape human fate. Her role as the keeper of keys also aligns with her dominion over the arcane and the mystical. As a goddess of magic and witchcraft, she was invoked in spells, rituals, and incantations. Her followers believed that through her, they could access the mysteries of existence, gaining insights into the past, present, and future. Hecate's triple form and the threefold path. One of the most distinctive aspects of Hecate is her triple form, often depicted as 3 women standing back to back, each facing a different direction. This reflects her role as a deity of thresholds and transitions. The threefold nature of Hecate corresponds to the maiden, mother, and crone archetypes, representing youth, maturity, and wisdom. It also aligns with the past, present, and future, reinforcing her deep connection to fate and time. At crossroads, statues of Hecate Triformis were erected, serving as both shrines and warnings. These statues embodied her omnipresence, ensuring that travelers and petitioners recognized her power. This trifold representation reinforced the belief that she could see all possible paths and choices, making her an ideal deity to consult in times of uncertainty. Offerings and rituals at crossroads. Ancient Greeks performed various rituals at crossroads to honor Hecate and seek her favor. The most common practice was the offering of Hecate's suppers, where food was left at 3-way intersections as a gift to the goddess and the spirits she commanded. This practice was done at night, often at the end of the lunar month, when the veil between worlds was believed to be thinnest. These rituals were acts of reverence but also methods of ensuring protection. Crossroads, being liminal spaces, were believed to be hotspots for supernatural activity. By honoring Hecate, individuals sought to ward off malevolent spirits and invite her guidance in navigating life's uncertainties. Hecate in modern interpretations. Hecate's significance has endured beyond the ancient world, continuing to captivate modern spiritual practices, literature, and art. She is often invoked in contemporary paganism, Wicca, and occult traditions as a powerful guide for those seeking wisdom, transformation, and protection. Her association with the crossroads remains potent, symbolizing life's pivotal moments and the choices that define our paths. In literature and pop culture, Hecate is frequently depicted as a mysterious and wise figure, often connected to magic and destiny. Her image as a torch-bearing, key-holding guardian of thresholds resonates deeply in stories where characters face critical decisions or supernatural encounters. Her legacy as the goddess of crossroads speaks to the universal human experience of navigating uncertainty and embracing change. The eternal guardian of life's intersections. Hecate's dominion over crossroads underscores her profound influence as a goddess of fate, choices, and the unknown. Whether guiding souls through darkness, unlocking the doors of mystery, or overseeing the liminal spaces between worlds, she remains a powerful force in mythology and beyond. Her presence at these pivotal junctures serves as a reminder that every choice carries significance and that wisdom lies in embracing both the uncertainty and potential of the paths before us. As long as humanity faces crossroads, both literal and metaphorical, Hecate's torch will continue to burn, illuminating the way for those who seek her guidance. Protector and Guardian. Hecate, a complex and multifaceted deity in ancient Greek religion and mythology, is often associated with the dead and the underworld. However, her role extended beyond that of a chthonic goddess. She was also a powerful protector, particularly of women, children, and travelers. Her presence was invoked for safety, guidance, and protection against malevolent forces. By exploring Hecate's protective attributes, her sacred symbols, and her worship practices, we can better understand her role as a guardian figure in antiquity. Hecate's protective nature. Hecate's protective nature is deeply rooted in her mythology and iconography. Unlike other deities who had singular domains, Hecate had a triadic nature, often depicted with 3 faces or bodies, symbolizing her ability to watch over multiple realms simultaneously. This triple form granted her a unique omnipresence, making her an ideal guardian for those who were vulnerable or in transition. Guardian of women. Women, especially those undergoing childbirth or transitions in life, turned to Hecate for protection. In the ancient world, childbirth was fraught with danger, and maternal mortality rates were high. Hecate, associated with liminal spaces and transitions, was believed to assist women during childbirth, ensuring safe deliveries and protecting newborns from harmful spirits. Hecate was also a guardian of women's independence and strength. Unlike other Olympian goddesses who were often linked to domesticity, Hecate was a figure of autonomy. Women, particularly those marginalized or engaged in mystical practices, revered her as a source of empowerment. She was often worshipped in private settings by women who sought her aid in personal matters, fertility, and protection from malevolent forces. Protector of children. Children, considered highly susceptible to supernatural threats, were under Hecate's watchful gaze. The ancient Greeks believed that spirits and malicious forces could harm infants and young children, making divine protection essential. Hecate's presence was invoked to safeguard children from disease, evil spirits, and untimely death. One of the most notable rituals associated with her protection of children was the placement of offerings at crossroads. Families would leave food, known as Hecate's supper, at crossroads to appease her and request her protection for their households. This practice not only honored Hecate but also reinforced her role as a guardian who stood at the boundary between the known and unknown. Guardian of travelers. Travelers, particularly those who journeyed alone or at night, faced numerous dangers in the ancient world. Bandits, wild animals, and supernatural beings were considered threats to those on the road. Hecate, as a liminal deity governing transitions, was a natural protector of travelers. She was often depicted carrying torches, illuminating the path for those who wandered in the dark. Hecate's association with crossroads further cemented her role as a guardian of travelers. In ancient times, crossroads were considered mystical places where different realms intersected. Worshippers would erect small shrines called Hecatea at these junctures, where travelers could pray for safe passage. Hecate's guiding light was not only a literal source of illumination but also a metaphorical one, representing wisdom and foresight for those navigating uncertain paths. Symbols of Hecate's protection. Hecate's guardianship was reinforced through her sacred symbols, many of which reflected her protective attributes. Torches, symbolizing illumination and guidance, torches were one of Hecate's primary attributes. She used them to lead souls safely to the afterlife, but they also served as protective beacons for the living, particularly travelers navigating dark and uncertain paths. Keys. As a goddess of thresholds, Hecate carried keys, signifying her power to unlock mysteries and safeguard transitions. Keys represented her role as a protector of the home and family, ensuring that no harm crossed the threshold. Dogs. Sacred to Hecate, dogs were believed to sense spirits and dangers that humans could not perceive. They served as both physical and supernatural guardians, offering protection to those under Hecate's watch. Daggers and serpents, representing her fierce and formidable nature, daggers and serpents were symbols of Hecate's ability to ward off evil and fight against those who threatened her devotees. Worship and rituals for protection. Hecate's protective power was honored through various rituals, many of which sought her blessing and safeguarding presence. Among the most notable were Hecate's Deepnon, a monthly offering left at crossroads, typically consisting of food such as bread, eggs, and fish. This practice was meant to appease Hecate and secure her continued protection. Household shrines. Many homes had small altars dedicated to Hecate, where families prayed for protection against misfortune and malevolent forces. Incantations and spells. As a goddess associated with magic and witchcraft, Hecate was frequently invoked in protective spells. Her name was inscribed on amulets and charms meant to ward off evil spirits and curses. Though often linked to the dead and the underworld, Hecate's role as a protector was equally significant. She safeguarded women during childbirth, watched over children from supernatural harm, and guided travelers through perilous journeys. Her symbols, worship practices, and presence in Greek religious traditions reinforce her status as a guardian of liminal spaces and vulnerable individuals. In honoring Hecate, the ancient Greeks acknowledged her power not only in the afterlife but also in the protection of life itself. Wisdom and power. Throughout the ages, legends have spoken of a woman of immeasurable wisdom and unparalleled power. She is known by many names across different cultures and epochs: the Oracle of Ages, the Keeper of the Arcane, the Mistress of Fate. However, all who seek her guidance acknowledge one undeniable truth: she holds the knowledge of magic and destiny itself, making her a beacon of wisdom to those who dare approach her sanctuary. The nature of her wisdom. Wisdom is not merely knowledge, it is the discernment to understand and apply knowledge in ways that shape reality. This sovereign of wisdom has spent centuries accumulating arcane texts, deciphering celestial prophecies, and unraveling the mysteries of existence. Her mind is a vast repository of ancient incantations, esoteric symbols, and the shifting threads of fate that weave the universe together. Those who stand before her do so in reverence, seeking answers to questions beyond mortal comprehension. Whether they are scholars thirsting for lost knowledge, rulers desperate for insight into their kingdom's futures, or seekers longing to uncover their destinies, she does not turn them away lightly. However, she does not offer simple answers. Wisdom, in its truest form, is not something given freely, it is earned. To those who come seeking easy solutions, she presents riddles. To those who desire power without understanding, she warns of the cost. The power she wields. Power and wisdom are often intertwined, yet few possess both in equal measure. Her power does not stem from brute strength or the force of arms, but from an understanding of the very fabric of existence. She commands the elements not through dominance, but through harmony, whispering incantations that bend reality to her will. Her power manifests in many ways: through spoken words that can alter destiny, through spells that unravel the hidden truths of the cosmos, and through the foresight that allows her to perceive paths untrodden. The arcane arts are second nature to her, for she has studied under celestial beings and conversed with spirits beyond time itself. One of her most feared abilities is her capacity to glimpse into the streams of fate. While most see time as a linear progression, she perceives it as an intricate web of choices and possibilities. With a single utterance, she can shift the course of history. But she does so sparingly, for even she understands that power without restraint leads to chaos. The guardianship of magic and fate. With great knowledge comes an even greater burden. To wield magic is to hold responsibility for its consequences, and to see fate is to understand the fragility of choice. She does not seek dominion over the world, nor does she impose her will upon others. Her role is that of a guardian, ensuring that knowledge is not misused and that power does not fall into reckless hands. In her sanctum, hidden within the folds of reality, she safeguards tomes filled with secrets that could unmake the universe. There are spells of creation and destruction, words that can bring forth gods or shatter realms. To the untrained mind, these are temptations; to her, they are responsibilities. She has witnessed civilizations rise and fall due to the unchecked hunger for power, and she has vowed to protect magic from those who would abuse it. Her understanding of fate, too, is a double-edged sword. Knowing what is to come does not always grant the ability to change it. Often, she is faced with the burden of watching tragedies unfold, unable to intervene lest she unravel something far greater. To guide is not to control, and she respects the free will of those who seek her counsel. The trials of the seeker. To gain wisdom from her is not a simple task. Those who wish to learn from her must prove themselves worthy. Some must pass rigorous tests, solving riddles woven from cosmic truths, enduring visions of their past and future, or facing reflections of their own souls. Others must demonstrate an understanding of sacrifice, for knowledge often demands a price. There are those who fail, who are consumed by their own desires before they can grasp the lessons she offers. They leave her sanctuary with minds shattered or hearts weighed down by truths they were not prepared to bear. But those who succeed emerge transformed, carrying with them the wisdom that shapes nations and the power that moves stars. The eternal enigma. Despite her prominence in legend, little is truly known about her. Some say she was once mortal, a sorceress who ascended beyond the limits of time. Others claim she is a celestial being, a force of nature given form. She has no single name, no definitive origin. Even those who have stood before her struggle to recall her face, for she exists beyond the confines of perception. Her presence is felt in whispers of the wind, in the pages of forgotten manuscripts, in the dreams of those who yearn for knowledge. She does not seek followers, nor does she demand devotion. She simply exists, a guiding force for those willing to listen. The legacy of her teachings. The lessons she imparts endure long after she is gone. Her words shape destinies, her guidance fuels revolutions, and her warnings avert catastrophe. Those who have learned from her become luminaries in their own right, kings who rule with wisdom, mages who wield power with restraint, seekers who pass on her teachings to the next generation. She is more than a mere legend. She is the embodiment of wisdom and power, an eternal guardian of knowledge and fate. And to those who dare to seek her, she remains both a mystery and a revelation. Hecate's presence lingers at the crossroads of fear and devotion. She is both the shadow and the light, the guardian and the guide. Whether you revere her for her wisdom or fear her for her power, one thing is certain: her influence endures. What do you think of Hecate? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this dive into mythology, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Until next time, may the goddess light your path, or keep you guessing in the dark.